my goal is to work with small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders as they build a stronger business based on keeping their clients longer and getting more referrals. And a lot of times people tell me that they think it's going to take a lot of tech time or money, and that's just not the case. There are tech options that you can use to help make things better and more efficient and streamline things to help you remember, but you can simply use a calendar and a Google form or Google Sheet, or even just writing it down. You don't even have to use any tech at all for the things that I teach. The time part, it's if you do it in the proper order and you gather the information that you need, then when it comes time to actually rolling out your retention program, it won't take as much time. And there are like hundreds and hundreds of ideas that literally don't cost anything, $0 strategies. And it's a big part of what I share. So one of the things that I see happen a lot with clients is that they sign someone as a client and then they actually ghost them. And businesses tell me all the time, my clients ghosted me. Other way around. They didn't ghost you, you ghosted them. And so having a proper onboarding process will allow that to not happen. I actually teach a 5-step onboarding process over 100 days. And in my Retention Made Simple ebook that you can get for $1 along with the audio file, I go into like all the details of how to do all that. But one of the things that you can do is even if you don't do the full system, just about 7 days after they onboard with you, just send them a quick note. Hey, how are things going? Is there anything we can do to make your experience better? To communicate with them and let them know that you are on their team and your goal is to help make the process really work for them. One of the other things that I love to teach is sending a handwritten thank you card. I'll tell you what, so many people now are so used to only getting bills in the mail, actually getting something that they want, or they didn't even know they wanted, but they get the mail and they open it and it's something really cool. I actually got a message from one of my clients that I sent a surprise card to, and she actually lives in the UK and I'm in the United States. And so a lot of times, especially if you're dealing with international people, they don't expect to get anything in the mail for sure. Number one, because they're not expecting mail, but then they know you're in a different country. So you mail them something. Oh, yeah. And she actually messaged and said, thank you so much. That was such a big surprise. And it was really cool. So mail them something, handwriting something. I have a team that I work with for my admin company, and they're all getting a package from me for Thanksgiving. I'm actually mailing something. I took the time to write each of them a little note in the package, and they know that they matter to me. They know that what they do matters and how they show up matters. And so I want to honor that. And so if you can do handwritten notes, it can be a simple, I don't know if you have dollar trees in your area, or I call them $1.25 tree. It might be $2 tree sometime soon. I don't know. But go there and get just a little simple stack or package of blank thank you cards or note cards that have a cool design on them, and just write a little note. It doesn't have to be anything expensive or fancy. One of the things I learned a long time ago is if you're going to be writing the envelope, I'm going to put return up here in the upper left, and then to, and then let me show you. So you write the return address here, who it goes to here, and this is where the stamp goes. If you want to, every like Sunday night, look ahead 2 weeks ahead at people that have birthdays or anniversaries, or they just onboarded with you, and you write the card and you put it all in there. And so let's see, I'm going to put 11/19. If you actually write the date that you want to mail that, where the stamp goes, and then when you put the stamp, and then every week you just go in and look, which ones do I need to mail? And then you put the stamp on it. It doesn't have to take tech. It just doesn't. So make sure you go look in my bio for the special I have for you right now if you're interested in keeping your clients longer, getting more referrals, improving your bottom line. I'll tell you a really good story, a good example of how keeping your clients longer really can impact your business. And one of the clients that works with us, his clients pay him $500 a month. And so if his clients, I'm just using this as an example, if his clients typically stay for 3 months, then that means that client's worth $1,500. But if you get the same client to stay longer, say maybe 9 months, then that client now is worth $4,500. Same client, same work, but 3 grand more. I'm going to take that all day long. So if you can learn some of these simple tactics and tips and tricks to be able to keep your clients longer and get more referrals, then you could go from a $1,500 client to a $4,500 client. Think about that over the course of a quarter, right? So maybe you have 10 clients a quarter, and then that's 3 grand times 10. So that's $30,000 you would lose over 90 days. So retention really is a big lever to increase your profit, your lifetime value, all the things in your business. So don't think it's just an thank you note. It's actually a system that can improve your business in really cool ways that most people don't think about. All right, so let's see. How about this? Another one would be if someone actually takes the time to leave you a Google review or a Facebook review or to share something about you on social media. If someone actually takes the time to do that and to share out information for you, make sure you thank them. It feels to me like it might be common sense, but I know that as business owners, we get really busy and we think, oh yeah, I need to do that. And then you forget. So make sure if someone does a Google review, Facebook review, any of those things, I would say make sure to send them a thank you note, a text, a voice message saying, hey, Amanda, I see that you did XYZ. Thank you so much. My business grows because of referrals. And when you share out your experience, it helps other people know that I do what I say I'm going to do and I get the job done. So thank you for sharing on social media for me. That's a free one. One of the things that I teach our clients is that if you're doing business to business stuff, B2B, and they have a Google review, a Google page, I would say leave them a Google review. Because, and first of all, here's a tip on that. You can't do it immediately. Like you just start working with somebody, a Google review is going to feel insincere because you don't know them well enough to leave a Google review. But after a little while, when you've actually had some experience with them, leave a Google review. And if it's a bigger company, then I would say what you might want to consider doing is screenshot that Google review and email it or text it to your contact. Because they may not ever see the Google page. If they're not the one managing that stuff, they may never even know it happened. So by taking the time to actually send a quick note saying, I wanted to let you know that I did this Google review for you and your business. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for how you show up in the world. And that way they know that you did it because otherwise they may not. So make sure that you are acknowledging if they give you a review, but then if it's appropriate, you give them a review as well. And when you work with your clients and they've been with you for a long time, one of the things that you can do is just say thank you on their 1-year anniversary or 6-month anniversary or whatever it is. If the only time you're reaching out to your clients is because it's time for them to sign and give you more money, that's not a retention program. That's just not. So make sure that you're celebrating them. You're giving them appreciation on a regular basis in some different ways where it's not always the same. And then one of the other things that I love to do, especially if you're doing B2B, I started my admin company on April 1st of 2019, and it was not an April Fool's joke. But the only way I typically know that it's my business anniversary is because I get all my auto renews that are for a year at that time. So what I teach is for our clients to find out when their clients started their business and send them something for their anniversary, their business anniversary. One of my favorite things to do is to drop ship a book from Amazon, a book that I really like that would benefit them and their business and who they are. So not just a random book, but something that would actually impact them, and have Amazon mail it with a little gift note saying, hey, Charlie, I know it's your business anniversary and I want to say congrats. Here's to another great year. This is a book that I really think that you might enjoy. And that's it. Just a thank you. And Amazon drop ships it. You never have to touch it. It's pretty amazing. I use Amazon quite often for many of these things. So if you haven't checked yet in my bio, look up in my bio. I've got a special for everybody watching right now. So it's $1. And if you're interested in keeping your clients longer, getting more referrals, then it has what you're going to need to be able to do that. I would say that a lot of times, this is a very unfortunate thing that I see, is that someone signs up as a client with a business and then they never really fully participate. They don't engage. And then the business owner never checks on them. I actually heard about this from one of my friends that they signed up for a coaching program, and it was pretty significant cost. I think $3,000 or $4,000 for the year. And then they never participated. And there's a reason why. And they told me what the reason why was, but the coach that they signed up with has never checked in on them. And so that coach, I believe, is leaving money on the table, because if they had reached out to this person and figured out what was going on, then maybe they could have salvaged that relationship and made it better and possibly gotten reviews from them or referrals or just a continued relationship. Because I'll tell you what, when this person's agreement's over, they're not going to resign. So if you want to keep your clients longer, if they're not engaging, figure out why. Treat them like a human. How about we treat our people like humans, right? We are, right? And so if we can do that a little bit better, then that'll make our businesses stronger. So many of us are on our phones all day long, every day, for all the things. And so I know that I send emails out to my clients, and I have an email list and a newsletter and all those things. And I also know that my open rates are between 20 and 40%, which is pretty typical for a lot of businesses like mine, and that's fine. But what happens to that other 60 to 80% of people that aren't seeing those messages? One thing is, even if they don't open it and they check their email and they saw my name and they remember who I am, that's okay. They can delete it. But the other thing would be, if it's somebody you really want to make sure that they get the message, you have an event coming up, you have a special, you have something going on that you want to make sure that they know about, do a quick video. I personally don't like voice messages. I'm probably the only person in the United States that doesn't. But a voice message, to me, it slows me down. So I prefer a text message or a video, because a video, at least I get to see them and I know that they're talking to me and they say, "Hey, Sam, this is what I have for you." And so I personally prefer a video. So if you have a message that you want to make sure that one of your clients gets, whether it's an appreciation message about a special or something coming up, do a quick video, take 30 seconds and say, "Hey, Jose, wanted to let you know that we have XYZ coming up. Make sure you check your email to get all the details." So another thing that I do periodically is mail random things to people in my world. And I'm known for the purple thing. And so I have purple envelopes. And sometimes I mail something that they're not expecting, right? And so if you have their address and you know what they like, then you can actually send them something. These are for your clients. They're not potential clients. These are for your clients, people who have invested their time, energy, money with you. And so my suggestion is to find out more about them as a human and then act accordingly. I just got back from a trip. I went on a birthday cruise with my mom and some of my best friends. And I'm not going to, in this package going to my friend, she loves hummingbirds. And I found this little hummingbird thing. And so I'm mailing that to her. And I say friend, but also she actually works for me. And so when you can show appropriate appreciation in a way that matters to them, that's really going to make a difference. And so that makes me think about the time several years ago that for Christmas, I like to do Christmas gifts for my clients. And I had these really great baskets made up. And they were beautiful. They were so nice. And they had some homemade cookies that a friend of mine, she had a business making cookies. She had a business making cookies, and they had the client's logo on the top of them. They were really great. And then for the people that drank wine, I had a bottle of wine. And so it was beautiful. And one of my clients that I gave it to, his name's Dale. He's been with me since 2019. He was my first paying client. And he said, "Hey, I really appreciate that you thought of me for your Christmas baskets, but I need you to know 2 things. 1, I'm on a diet and I won't eat those cookies. And number 2, that's not the kind of wine I would drink." And so the gifts that you give should be about them, not about you. As I'm meeting with clients and I'm talking to them and I find out what matters to them, I'm just documenting all that so that I have it. And at Christmas, when I go to do gifts, I basically decide what I'm going to give to them based on who they are as a human. It takes about an extra hour of planning, but it keeps my clients for years. Dale's been with me literally since April of 2019, and here it is November of 2025. And so by us doing a great job and showing appropriate appreciation, that's why he stayed as long as he has. And I look back over the course of time and I say, I don't do high ticket. We're an admin company, and it's we do projects and we have clients on retainer that stay with us for a very long time. If they make it to day 100 and we've been able to effectively take the tasks off their plate and help their business grow and they trust us, they don't leave us. But I did the math on working with Dale, and this is just one example. We've got several other clients that have been with us for a very long time. But he pays us on average $800 to $1,000 a month. And so over the last 6 years, he's paid me over $60,000. That's a lot of money. And so how about I spend a little bit. I say if we take just a little teeny tiny bit of what we spend on marketing for retention, we would not have to spend so much on marketing. And we do marketing for our clients and it's part of what we do. But I'll tell you what, if I can help our clients build on retention instead of marketing, that's what I want. And that's why we're leaning in on Retention Made Simple. If you haven't checked out my bio, there's a special for you. So one of the things that a lot of people think is that they have to give a big discount to keep their clients longer. Discounting is not the way to go. It's really not, because it devalues what you're doing. And then they think, oh, why wasn't she giving me the lower price before? So you don't have to discount. You need to do a good job. You need to keep your word. You need to do what you say you're going to do. You need to not ghost your clients and show appropriate appreciation. And so the 3-part system that I teach in the Retention Made Simple ebook and audio file is I teach appropriate onboarding, effective onboarding, appropriate appreciation, and asking for feedback. And here's what I want to talk about right now is the feedback piece. Okay. A lot of business owners, and I tell them, you have to ask for feedback. And they're like, I don't want to ask. I don't want to ask. And if you don't want to ask for feedback, you already know the answer, don't you? So I would say ask for feedback, implement based off of what you heard. Just because they say it doesn't make it true, but it is true in their brain, in their mind. So when they give you feedback, you have to respond. You have to. And so make sure you respond when somebody gives you feedback. And then if you actually implement something based on what they said or what they suggested, make sure you let them know that too. Because when you do something that a client suggests and they know that they mattered enough, that what they said mattered enough, that you actually did something about it, that's going to build in loyalty that you can never get another way. And if you have questions about client retention, onboarding, showing appropriate appreciation, asking for feedback, I would love to know what those questions are. I would love to answer your specific questions. Make sure if you haven't already, check out my bio because I have a special $1 offer that's there right now. And I would love to be able to see your name pop in on my email list so that I can communicate with you for other specials. I do a demo periodically or 30-minute demo where I actually show you how the Retention Made Simple process can impact your business. And I'd love to see you later.